Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modelling tutorial. We're going to continue with our Tesla here. We're starting to look really nice with the general shape. I think everything here is looking quite good. We're going to go with the wheels, I think, in this episode, rather than the windows. I think the wheels will be a lot harder. There is a fairly kind of custom tyre in here, which is going to make it a little bit tricky, but nothing too nuts. I'm trying to think of, for the tyre tread, it looks like the tyre tread is a fairly simple design, but it is tricky enough to kind of trip us up as we go through. So I think what we'll probably want to do for that is we're going to probably want to do it in a couple of parts. We're going to want to do obviously the wheel itself, the actual kind of design. Then we're going to have the tyre wall, and then after the tyre wall we're going to have the actual tread that's going inside there as well. I'm just trying to think about how we could do it in terms of the tyre tread. I don't think it'll be too tricky. I think we'll probably just use a simple extrusion to do those, and then we'll kind of go from there. So let's maybe fire in a cylinder, and what I'm going to use for this cylinder is really just going to be kind of a placeholder. Let me rotate that around here. I'm going to bring this up just there. What we need to understand with this as well is we've got 7 spokes here, so we're going to want this to be divisible by 7, so let's maybe go 35. Okay, so 35 looks good. I think what we'll want to do is we'll want to create this portion of the tyre first. Let's just increase the radius, maybe 1.1 or 1.025 maybe. Oh my god, if I can type 1.025, looks like 1.025 should be good. So let's go ahead and get rid of everything else. I'm just going to keep these bits here, because this is going to be the bit of the tyre that we're actually working on, just this segment at the top. So let's do that. Let's bring in as well, let's go for a cylinder. Okay, I'm going to rotate this around here, 90 degrees. Actually, not a cylinder, what am I doing? We want to bring in a pipe. So I'm going to create polygon primitive, and let's go for a pipe here. Okay, let's go again. Let's hit that rotate on here. Let's go 90 degrees. I'm going to hold down V on this and snap it to that section. We did decide that the height was what, was it 1.025 on there. We want to reduce our thickness, maybe 0.3, a bit more than that. Because we do want to be in line with this edge here. 0.25 looks like it should be okay. I'm going to increase up to maybe 70, so we're getting a nice bit of curve to this. And also that'll actually align a little bit nicer right in between those spokes. So let's go ahead, grab everything on here, and we'll delete all of those. Okay, so I'm running right into the center of the actual main spoke of the wheels there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab all of these, and we're going to scale them flat. And then I'm just going to scale them back out again, just so that they're going to run down there a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to want to draw in some geometry here. Let's go, and before we do anything actually, I'm going to delete those faces because we don't need those, but I think what we'll want is we will want to keep this bit, so we'll want to keep that like little lip like so. So we'll do something like that. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to insert an edge loop just across the top there, because I don't want anything to really interfere with that edge. So I'll drop that in all the way across, which should be fine. Okay, so let's think about drawing in some geometry here. I'm going to draw in this kind of section for the tyre here. So I'm going to run up and along there. I don't think we'll need to connect that any further. I think that'll connect there just fine. We'll want to draw in this bit too. So let's just get an idea here. If I go around 55% for that, and we can go about 55 again down here. And then maybe what we'll do is let's connect that off up there as well. Okay. So we're just trying to get a good sense of the shape here. What we'll maybe do is I'm just going to drop an edge here about 61% down there. I'm going to drop one the same, about 61% down here. Let's drop an edge loop in there, and then let's link those together. But I'm going to grab these here, these ones. I want those to be a bit straighter. I'm just going to pull those down with edge slide on, like so. And I think we'll probably just delete those. So these two bits here, we'll hit delete on those. Let's get rid of that. What we'll maybe do is let's grab these edges here. I'm going to hit Control E, and we'll bring that in so it's the same distance. So I'll select those, I'm going to quickly merge them, and then down there, I'll quickly merge them too. Okay, so we're looking quite good for the most part. Let's go ahead and let's drop in here. Let's go multi-cut actually. I'm going to drop in a line just there. We've got triangles here, so that's fine. Because that should help us, because we do need to add a bit of curvature to this, that'll help us do that. So I think that's looking okay. So let's have a go then at pulling some of these sections out. So let's go ahead and actually, we'll maybe want to get rid of those just at first. So I'll grab these, and I'll maybe grab these as well. I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to remove keep faces together. Actually no, let's just grab these ones. So let's remove keep faces together, just so we can put a bit of a gap in there, something like that. And now we can select these. I'm going to hit Control E, and the reason I'm going to select all of them and do this is just so that they're all about the same kind of width. Actually first, we're going to want to take all of this. So let's hit Control E, and we'll just pull this in just a little bit there, because what we actually have is we have a little bit of definition here. So with edge slide, I'm just going to pull that down. Let's maybe select these ones, pull those down. We've got a little bit of definition in the tyre. Okay, so I'm just pulling these one by one, and then just aiming to get the same kind of distance between them. So do something like that. Okay. What I'm going to do on the underside, before we do that, I'm going to remove these faces on either side. What I'm going to do on the underside here is I'm actually going to target weld all the lower faces to the higher faces. Take all those up there, all the way across. Okay, so that's looking quite nice. Let's go ahead and grab these and these. I'm going to hit Control E. I'll pull these forward just a little bit, maybe just something like that. Okay, so I think that's looking fine. Let me just bring in my... Okay, So I think we're looking good. Let's have a go, see if we can join that back in. So I'm going to go down to about 42. I'm going to go bang in the center here, and then down to this one here. Drop that in. That's just to help us with that, should we need it at any point, in order to help us add a bit more curvature to this, which we'll actually probably do in a minute or two. Okay, so I think that's looking okay. That's kind of given us a little bit of definition to that tyre shape. Yeah, so what we can maybe do now is let's go ahead and I'm going to grab all these top edges around there, take all of those and these. Actually, before we do anything else, let's get rid of these faces here. Okay, so I'm going to run around, just reselect the edges here. Just make sure I haven't taken anything I don't want. So grab all of those. Take these again. Okay, so I think we'll just grab those ones there. Yeah, we'll just grab those ones. Let's go for a bevel on those. And I think we'll just stick 0.5 and I'm just going to add in one segment there. I just want to get some definition to those, which is fine. I'm going to grab this whole edge at the top. I'm going to do the same. Add a little bit of a bevel around there as well, just to help define that a little bit more. Okay, so that's looking quite good. Let's go ahead and let's think about maybe getting a bit of curvature to this. I don't think we'll need to add much geometry, so maybe what we'll do is let's drop one, just go there and there. Let's match that too. That's not joining because of what we have up here, but that's okay. What we can do is we can use the multi-cut. We can join those together. Do the same down there. I'm going to drop a loop at the bottom here, and maybe one inside there too. Okay. We may though want to link these. So I'm actually going to drag this one. I'm going to drop that all the way into that corner. I think we'll actually want to do it here as well, just because I'm going to use a deformer on this to make the shape. Don't really want to end up with the faces deforming on here, so we'll go and we'll link those as well. Okay, what we're going to want to do with these is let's maybe go ahead here and use deformer. I think Lattice should be okay. And then I think what we'll do is we'll maybe just say, maybe we'll just do 5. So I'm going to go 5 on S, and then T and U there is just 2. And we want to just get a little bit of curvature into this. So let's go ahead, maybe grab these lower ones first. And I'm just going to start pulling them over to the side. Okay, something like that. One thing we want to be careful about here is we want to be careful that we're not going to end up being a little bit wavy with this. So we can see that our line here is no longer completely straight inside there. So that's potentially going to form or cause us to have a little bit of waviness in the actual tyre. Okay. So I think that's okay. What we'll maybe do is let's maybe add. Oops, not 43. What we could maybe try, we could dial that back and not that one. We could maybe add a point to the center. Maybe we could add 2. Okay, so we'll go again. We'll add a little bit more curve to this. And by having the points in the center, it should be able to help us limit the amount of waviness along the top here. So again, we can see we want this to be roughly straight, but what we could maybe do is we could grab these two, for example, pull them back out just a touch. Maybe not. Maybe let's just have a go. Keep that just there. Okay, so we've got a little bit of angle to that, which is fine. So I'm going to grab that. Let's go and delete all by type of history to get rid of that lattice. Let's maybe go and take what we can maybe do is let's maybe grab these edges, have a go at straightening them back. I'm going to pull them. Let me just get rid of my edge slide. So I'm just going to grab this top edge here. Just going to pull this away. Have a go at straightening that off. I'll do the same for this one. Just pull that away too. Straighten it off. Okay, so we'll pull that out here. Let's go ahead and we'll take that back in. Bring this back too. Okay, so that'll negate the kind of waviness on the rest of that. Do have a little bit problem here, and that's mainly because of the actual bevel. So you see here that we've beveled so much from there. If we have a go at trying to merge all those together, maybe. Because obviously the mismatch of bevels is just affecting things ever so slightly in that corner there. I'm going to see what it looks like. Let's apply our darker material to it. Okay, so you're not really going to notice anything too crazy with that. So that should be fine. Let's have a go then at real quick. Let's have a go at rotating this around. We could duplicate special, but I'm just going to go bit by bit. Let's go into our view here. So I'm just going to hit Control D. I'm going to rotate this around. And I did a little bit of maths earlier, and as far as I'm aware, I think the first one here we want to do is 51.428. So we'll take that around there. So we've got that tyre making up. I think it was actually 51.428. I'm going to hit Control D on this again. I'm going to take this around here, and the next one is 102.856. Okay, I'm going to hit Control D again, and then the next one here will be 154.284. Okay, I'm going to hit Control D, let's go around. I'm going to be 205.712. Go again, and this time will be 257.140. And then finally we'll do one more around here, and we're looking at 308.568. Okay, so we've got that whole tyre running around there quite nicely. So we're going to want to quickly combine these together, and I'll probably pause the video whilst I do so. But what I'm looking to do is I'm going to grab these, I'm going to hit mesh, combine, and then what we're looking to do here is we're just looking to grab all the vertices. I don't think we'll be able to grab all of them for the most part, but we are going to want to grab them, hit merge. We can see that that's taken all at once. So I'm going to select each of these. I'm just going to hit G on the keyboard as we go through here. There's quite a gap between them. That's not a problem. My gap might be slightly different to your gap. Awkwardly, it looks like I missed a bevel on this edge here. So I'm just gonna target weld the rest to that one, and then we'll go edit mesh and we'll hit merge on there. Okay, I'm just gonna grab all of these as we go through here. I'm just going to hit G the whole time. Apologies if you can hear the car outside. Okay, so merge all those together. I'm not going to be too fussed about that bevel just because it's going to be dark tyre material. We're not really going to notice it. So I've got those merged together. I'm going to run through and merge all the rest real quick. Alright guys, we're good. Got that all put together. So we're not looking too bad just now in terms of the wheel. What we'll do is, like I said, we'll do the tread separately of the tyre wall, but I think first is what we could probably do is we could probably have a go at building the actual wheel for the last section of this, and then in the next episodes we'll build the tread, and then maybe hopefully have time for the window at the same time, the windows too. So let's go ahead then and grab let's grab a brand new cylinder. I'm going to rotate this around here. Let's go for 90 degrees, and I'm going to grab this, and what we'll do is let's hit V, bring that bang into the center there. We want to adjust the amount of subdivisions to 7, and then scale this down here nice and small. So I'm just having a look. I've got some half decent reference imagery here to use. I'm going to scale this down, and I'm going to go down to like this second part here. So we'll come into about that section there. They do look quite deep dished, so I think for this we're probably going to be something down here, so let's maybe drop that in just there, I'm thinking, in relation to this front section here. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those. I'm going to grab the faces here, I'm going to hit Control E, and I'm going to scale this down just a touch, something like that. Maybe we'll see in here. We do, so we'll maybe go down to about maybe there, and we're going to want to pull those in, just something like that. Because of the extrusion, we've got these extra faces, so we'll just run around and delete all of those. Okay, let's grab this edge. I'm going to hit Control E, and I'm going to scale this up to about here. So it looks like we're going to do that, and then we're going to take this backwards. to maybe something like that. And then I'm going to grab these edges and I'm going to do that again. I'm going to extrude those in. So I think we're wanting something like that. Okay. I'm going to bring in another one. So I'm going to bring in another cylinder here. Let's go, I'm going to rotate this around again. And exactly the same, I'm just going to hold down V. I'm going to snap to that inner point and then scale this down. Let's reduce this down to 7 again. Okay, I'm just going to reduce this down this time to about where the spokes start. So maybe about here. Looks like it should be quite good. I'm going to grab all those, I'm going to hit Control E, I'm going to turn off Keep Faces Together, I'm going to pull this on the blue, and I think we'll pull it to about there, so that kind of lower portion of the wheel. And then we want these obviously to be coming quite far out. Let's just position this, I think it looks like roughly about here, what we want that to be. Yeah. And with the scale tool, I'm just going to extend. Actually, no, we will keep those there. So I think that's where we want those to be. I'm going to go ahead and let's maybe get rid of all the extra spokes. So we're just kind of working with the one for now. We don't want that anymore either, and I don't want to be working with a rear face. Maybe not that one either. Okay, so do something like that. Actually, let's undo that. Rather than working with that spoke weirdly, I'm actually going to work with this vertical spoke at the bottom. That'll be much easier for us to kind of manage. So we'll go back. Let's get rid of all this. Okay. I am going to grab all the edges in here. I think all of these edges I'm going to want to grab. Oh, I think we maybe want to grab all of them. And let's hit a bevel on this real quick. So maybe 0.2. I'm just going to drop in maybe 3 segments in there. I think we want to be something like that. So let's grab this again. And like I said, we don't want any of these. I don't think I want that, and I don't want that either. Okay. I'm going to take these a little bit closer. Okay. And I think we're happy enough with the width of these. They do seem to get slightly larger as we get to this side here. But I think what we actually want to do is let's scale it down. We want to take the ones that are behind here. I'm going to want to scale those out. Something like that. In the lower bit here, these are a little bit closer. I think these bits are a little bit closer. These are a touch further away. Okay, and then I'm going to just take these edges here. I'm going to hit Control E. Just going to pull these down. pull those down to about there. Okay. I think what we want to do though is this edge here. I'm going to pull this up. And then these edges, I'm going to grab both these and we'll bridge across there. So I think we want to be something like that. It does look like at the top that these are down like that. And then we're going to want to bridge the same up there. Okay. So I think that's what we're looking at for that. Let's quickly just grab these edges here. I think I'm thinking maybe what we actually want for this is we want these. So I'm just looking at this edge here. And it looks like what we're probably going to want to do is insert an edge loop. Just maybe here. Because we have this edge. So we have this edge that runs all the way around here. And that's kind of doubled. So it's like that. But then down here, this is actually a triangle. So down to this point here is that this actually goes down there. So let's maybe actually target weld those here. So I think I actually want to be like that. So we'll grab this and we'll pull this a little bit lower. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take this edge and these edges. And I'm going to bevel those. Okay, so I'm going for like a 0.1 and then I'll maybe go 3 segments in there. Okay, so I've got that nice shape to that. I'm actually going to undo that real quick because I think we want to take these ones too. Take that back down. Okay, so I think we want to be something like that. Our pivots should still be in the middle here, so I'm going to do some rotations on this with some duplicates. So I'm going to hit Ctrl D. I want to take this around here. I think we want to be, do we want to be the same as those? So we still want to have my 51.428 on there. Yeah, I think we do. I think that works quite nicely. So we'll take those around there, and that will be 102.856. Okay. I'll grab those again. I'm going to duplicate them, take them around here. And again, we want that to be that 51. That'll do for that. Take this around here, and that'll be 154.284. Okay, so we'll just run all of those around something like that. I think we're going to want to grab all these and we are going to want to combine them. We're going over on the episodes here a little bit, but let's just quickly get those. It looks like we want to link these together. So we'll just bridge across. something like that. Okay. I think we do want to go up to this bit. So we actually want to bridge across here on our bevels real quick. Okay, so that's looking good. Let's take these two. Okay, I think we just got a few more to go. Okay. And then last one, grab all of these. Okay, I think that's looking quite nice. And then I'm maybe just going to go ahead and grab that whole edge. I'm going to hit Control E on those, and I'm just going to pull those in like that. We could run a bevel around that whole edge if we wanted to. Let's just drag that into position. So I'm thinking what we want to do with this. Okay, so I think we want to be something like that. Maybe a bit further in. Okay, so I think something like that looks good. And let's maybe grab these, and then obviously we want that to be sitting just on top of those tires. So I want that to be up here. Maybe what we could do is we could grab all of these. I don't think we've quite got enough on there. I think we want to go a bit more like that. Okay, like so. So I think that's what we're kind of looking at in here. I think the only thing I would change is I would reduce the size of these because we can see here that when we pull this out, it's actually intersecting with those, but these spokes actually start a little bit higher. So I think in between episodes I'll probably rectify that, and then I'll show you guys how it's looking afterwards. But let's just quickly drop on our blend onto that too. Okay, so we're looking quite good in terms of all of this. I think with the tyre, some bits here might need to be extended as well, so I'll maybe look into doing that in between episodes. And then what we'll do is when we come back the next episodes, we'll have a look at the tread, we'll have a look at the windows as well, and then hopefully that will be this project nearing completion. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed this episode, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's been a longer episode, but I will see you in the next one.